Hey everyone, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Today we've got this awesome story from the Bible, all about two guys in the same family, Abram and Lot. And they had to make a really big choice that changed everything. You ready? Let's dive in. Okay, before we get into the story, I want to ask you something. Think about this. Have you ever let someone else go first? Like maybe you were waiting for the slide and you said, hey, you can go ahead of me. Or maybe it was your turn to pick the game, but you let your brother or sister choose instead. Or, oh, this is a big one, you let someone have the last cookie. It feels kind of good to do that, right? Well, that whole idea of letting someone else go first is exactly what our story is about today.
So, what's the one big thing we're going to learn today? What's our big idea? It's all about this. When God is our friend, He helps us make choices that are kind and loving, even when it feels super hard to do.
Okay, here it is, our big idea for today. Let's say it out loud together, okay? Get ready. When God is my friend, He will help me put others first. Awesome. Let's say it one more time just to lock it in our brains. When God is my friend, He will help me put others first. You guys are great.
Now, to really get this story, there's a key word we gotta know, and our word of the week is unselfish. It's a great word. Being unselfish just means you think about what other people need, not just what you want. It's like you're putting them first. It's all about being kind and thoughtful.
Okay, you ready for the story? Let's go. So there's this man named Abram, and he has a nephew named Lot. And they've been traveling together for a super long time with their families. And get this, God had blessed them so much. I mean, their families just kept getting bigger and bigger. They had tons of people working for them and so many animals, sheep, goats, cows, you name it. It was like they had their own little traveling city. They were running out of space. But you know what happens when you have a lot of people and animals all squeezed into one spot, right? A problem starts to pop up. What do you think would happen? If you have two huge families trying to live in the same area, what's going to happen? Yep, you got it. There just wasn't enough room for everybody. There wasn't enough grass for all those animals to eat. And pretty soon, the people who worked for Abram started arguing with the people who worked for Lot. They were fighting over who got the best water, who got the best grass. It was turning into a big mess. So Abram, he's the older one, he's the leader, and he sees all this fighting. He knows he has to fix it. Everyone is looking at him, wondering what's Abram going to do. And this is the most amazing part of the story. Listen to what he does. He goes to his nephew Lot and says, hey, we're family. We should not be fighting. And then he says this, look, the whole land is right here in front of us. You choose first. If you go to the left, I'll go to the right. If you go to the right, I'll go to the left. Can you believe that? He let Lot pick first? Wow. So right here, we see two totally different choices, don't we? You have Abram's choice. He decided to be unselfish. He put Lot first, and he just trusted that God would handle the rest. And then you have Lot's choice. He looked around, saw the land that looked like the absolute best with all the green grass and water, and he picked it for himself. He put himself first. So you might be thinking, oh no, Abram got the leftovers. He lost. But did he? Did he really lose by being so kind and unselfish? No way, not even close. Because God saw Abram's kind heart, and God had a huge surprise for him.
And this is super important to remember. Abram didn't lose anything by putting Lot first. Actually, he gained something way better. God was so happy with Abram's unselfish choice that He gave him a promise that was bigger and more amazing than any piece of land could ever be. So God told Abram, look all around you. All of this land, as far as you can see, I'm giving to you and your family forever. But then came the really incredible part. God said, I'm going to make your family so big, it'll be like the dust of the earth. Think about that. Have you ever tried to count all the little tiny specks of dust in a sunbeam? You can't. It's impossible. That's how big God promised Abram's family would be. A family so huge you couldn't even count them. That's amazing.
Okay, so that story about Abram happened a long time ago. But being unselfish is still just as important right now, today. In fact, I want to tell you a real story about a boy named Sebastian.
So this is Sebastian. He was at a friend's house in a country called Haiti when all of a sudden, the whole ground started to shake like crazy. It was a giant earthquake, and the house he was in started falling apart right on top of him.
The house completely fell down, and Sebastian was trapped in all the broken pieces. His leg was stuck under something really heavy. He couldn't move. Can you imagine how scary that would be?
But then, a neighbor heard him. He heard Sebastian's voice and called out, "Hold on, we're going to get you out." Just hearing that voice gave him so much hope.
And it wasn't just one person. A whole bunch of people came to help. They worked for hours and hours digging away all the heavy stuff to try and free him. They were being so unselfish, giving their time and energy to save him. One person even stayed with him all through the night so he wouldn't be alone in the dark.
And guess what? They did it. They rescued him. He was hurt pretty bad and doctors had to do a big operation to save his life. But Sebastian never forgot how all those people unselfishly helped him. And because of their kindness, he decided that when he grows up, he wants to be a doctor so he can spend his life caring for other people just like they cared for him. Wow, so we have Abram's story from the Bible and Sebastian's story from today. They both show us how powerful and important it is to be unselfish. So, now it's our turn to think, how can we be unselfish?
And you know what? It doesn't have to be some huge, dramatic thing. Being unselfish can be really simple. It can be something like sharing your favorite toy, or letting your brother pick what you watch on TV. Maybe it's helping out with chores at home before anyone even asks you to. Or maybe it's sharing that last slice of pizza. Every little choice to put someone else first is a big deal.
So, as you go into your week, I have one last thing for you to think about. Remember Abram. Remember the people who helped Sebastian. And just ask yourself this question. Who can I put first this week? It doesn't have to be big. Just one small, unselfish choice. And don't forget our big idea, okay? When God is our friend, He will always help us put others first.